Hello, my best sound friends and lemon pie cuties. Mark the Punk Gamer, a.k.a. Mark a Punk here. I'm here with the last Saw content for this, for the extras horror. It's gonna be my last content for the Saw series I did. If you haven't seen my whole Saw review series, I have all 9 of them in my playlist right now for your enjoyment, and my other content, which is ranking the franchise. And the other video I did my favorite Saw traps and the worst Saw trap videos, if you want to check those out as well. And now, I'm actually going to rank the Saw villains worst to best. So, depends on how intimidating they are and how good their acting is in their villain role and everything else under the frickin' sun. So, I'm excited to get this last content for Saw out of the way so I can work on other things. So, I'm excited to get this done. So, there's actually 9 villains in total I'm ranking, so worst to best. So, he forgot Art Blank on his ranking, so I'm going to include Art Blank and Zep Hindle as their Saw pawns in the game, included in this ranking. They're villains. So, here we go. I'm going to kick it off with number 9, the worst villain out of all these movies. This is no surprise, guys, so I'm just going to cut straight to the point. It's Logan Nelson from Jigsaw. So, I hate this villain, as you can already tell if you've seen my review. He's not an interesting villain to me, Logan Nelson. As a Saw apprentice in the original timeline before he met Aman Young and everything. So, Logan Nelson is not an interesting villain for this one in the Jigsaw movie role. I don't find him interesting. I really fucking hate this guy. So, he's not an interesting villain. So, my number 9th pick is going to be Logan Nelson. May you rest in peace, you shitty villain. Alright, my number 8th pick for the Saw villain here. So, my second least favorite villain. So, prepare to be surprised which one it is. And it's Dr. Gordon. So, yeah, he's Dr. Gordon from the first Saw. Plays as a protagonist in the beginning. And then he turns out to be a villain in the further down the line sequel. So, I find his acting is pretty fucking poor for this character. So, his name is Cary Elwes, however you want to say his name. So, he's awesome as a comedian, but not as a horror actor, to be honest. So, very fucking strange. When he turns out to be a villain, it's just fucking obvious. If you've ever seen the review of Saw 3D, you know what I mean. Oh my god. His acting is so poor in those movies. He is fun in some spots, but, he's my second least favorite villain, Dr. Gordon. So, Lawrence Gordon. Oh my god. So, yeah, Dr. Gordon is not an interesting villain to me either. So, this is my second least favorite villain. So, my number 8th pick is going to be Dr. Gordon. Ugh. Alright, so, my number 7th pick for this ranking of villains. So, my number 7th pick is going to be Jill Tuck. Oh, she's not as interesting as a villainess, I would say. She does have the looks, but not her acting, to be honest. So, Jill Tuck's interesting in some sequels, like 4 through 7 on. So, I don't find her to be interesting. It's supposed to be Jigsaw's ex-wife in the 4th movie, if you explore that story in that one. So, she has interesting connections between the two with John Cramer and her. So, not really. She has the looks, but she doesn't have the best acting villain role in my opinion. And she always has she has that freaking cat eyes, in my opinion too. Oh man. Yeah, this one, Jill Tux it's not that interesting of a villain to me either. So, she does have the looks, but not her acting. She's a tad bit okay villain, to be honest. She's not that exploding of a great villain, you know. My number 7 is going to be Jill Tuck. Yes, we're getting in the middle of the ranking now. We're in the average section of my ranking, so 6 through the middle. So, My number 6 pick for this one, he forgot one character in this villain ranking. I'm gonna go ahead and add Art Blank as my number 6 pick. He's not as good as Zep Hindle, what I'll be saying in the a little bit higher in my ranking. So Art Blank, he plays a lawyer for Jill Tuck in Saw 4. So when he's in the mausoleum trap, he's gonna be obviously the one leading the villain role in Jigsaw's pawn in Saw 4. So I do like the scarred look and he has in his mouth, so that's pretty cool. And trying to get these two in the trap, one the ice block trap, and the other guy was in the electric chair with water. And Art Blank is okay villain to me. He's not that intimidating, but he's an okay Jigsaw's pawn in Saw 4, in my opinion. So yeah, Art Blank plays a lawyer in this one, Jill Tuck's lawyer. He's okay villain in my opinion, so I'm gonna go ahead and put him at my number 6 spot. So number 6 is Art Blank. So there you go. Alright, my number 5th pick for this villain ranking is going to be William Shank from the Spiral movie, The Book of Saw. So he does have potential to be a villain. He carries out the legacy of John Cramer / a.k.a. Jigsaw. So he carries out the legacy of the Saw franchise pretty well, in my opinion. So he's in the middle of the ranking. The way he looks in this one, it's kind of a tad bit intimidating for this character, William Shank. He co-lead with Chris Rock in that movie. To me, he has a little bit of a potential, so in the next movie, if ever it gets made. So I'm gonna hold high hopes for this guy. So William Shank is an interesting villain to me. So because he carries out the old traditional Saw legacy for this character. So I just want to see him in the next movie if he's any good. So, but for me, I'm gonna put him in the middle of this ranking. So my number 5 is gonna be William Shank. Okay, my Bat Sound friends and Lemon Pie Cuties. These are my top 4 of my favorite Saw villains from the franchise. So this is gonna be a surprising one. So for my number 4th pick for this villain, so my pick is going to be Zep Hindle from Saw 1. The reason he's a bit higher than Art Blank in my opinion, so Zep Hindle has the most intimidating presence. He holds the Dr. Gordon's family hostage with a handgun. Yeah, he has the most intimidating presence in the first movie. So, as Jigsaw's pawn in this first movie. He's an interesting villain, to be honest, Zep Hindle. But they called him Zep in the tape recorder they played. Still iconic object in the game. Yeah, in the game too, but interesting prop in the whole game. Yeah, the original Saw is still classic, but it's still not my favorite sequel, as you guys saw him from my ranking. Yeah, Zep Hindle is an awesome villain. He could have had potential, but he died, unfortunately, by Adam hitting him with the freaking toilet tank lid on him, and it's like smashing his head. Yeah, he could have been further down the sequels, but unfortunately he died. Yeah, Zep Hindle is an awesome villain in Saw 1, of course, as Jigsaw's pawn. He has to get a certain syringe from his disease, whatever. So, it told him to do. And that's all I'm going to say for Zep Hindle. So, he is an interesting villain in Saw 1. For my number 4th pick is going to be Zep Hindle. Okay, my top 3 now. So, my number 3 bronze medal winner for this Saw villain right here. Please don't hate me in the comments. So, I'm going to pick Mark Hoffman as my number 3. This guy's a fun villain to me, so Mark Hoffman. Oh, he's fun. There is some negatives about that because the blood was so fake in 3D, so that's why it brings him down to 3 to me. So he is a fun villain throughout Saw 4 until now. Well, Saw 3, he made a small appearance. But I'm talking about 4 through 3D. So he's actually a fun villain. pretty awesome. So, Mark Hoffman. So, he just kills everybody left and right in the police station. Kills the remaining characters in Saw 6. That's pretty awesome. And then burns the whole freaking building down. Oh yeah, I can't get enough of Mark Hoffman. I really can't. He's really insane villain to me. So, my number 3 bronze medal winner pick is going to be Mark Hoffman. My number 2 silver medal winner for this ranking of the Saw villains. You think this person's going to be number 1? No. My number 2 silver medal winner is going to be Aman Young. I know. She's at the number 2 spot for me. So, I do love this chick in Saw through 1 through 3. So, she's an awesome character in my opinion. So, she went through so many traps, like twice now, since the first one and the second one. So, being tested twice. If it counts the video games version, she's been tested about 2 more times. Holy crap. You cannot leave this poor woman alone, can you? Yeah, I do like Aman Young's appearance in Saw 3. That's where she makes the best appearance, in my opinion, in that third movie. She was pretty good in Saw 2, but I mostly prefer her in Saw 3. So, I really love this chick. If you ever seen her in the Blob remake of 1980, Blob remake, she was in that. So, she's horror royalty to me. I do love this chick. So, Aman Young is one of the awesome villainesses of all time. Yeah, I do love Aman Young. I like her personality in this one. She's a tough chick, so I do like that. And everything else. Yeah, Aman Young's one of the coolest villains in my opinion. Through Saw 1 through 3. So, my number 2 silver medal winner, I have to give it to Aman Young. I have to. She's one of the best villains in my opinion throughout the first 3 sequels. So, there you go. Alright, guys. So, it's going to be my obvious number 1 gold medal winner villain out of all these movies. It's going to be the most obvious answer. I said so many quotes about this one character only. So, I said some quotes about Aman Young a little bit. But the most quotes I said from the original character that started it all. So, I'm going to pick John Cramer, a.k.a. Jigsaw himself. So, he's the number 1 villain for me. So, he's one of the best villains throughout 1 through 3 until he died of it and Jeff cut his throat with a freaking skill saw. So, sad way to end this great villain of all time. So, yeah, John Cramer. He's my favorite villain out of all the Saw series. He's awesome, and he has the most intimidating presence that started the series in the beginning. He has the best one-liners in Saw 1, and especially Saw 2 and 3. Oh, he has the best quotes in those movies too, like 4 and 5. Well, mostly that one quote in Saw 5, my second least favorite. Killing is distasteful. That one line. So, and that one. Oh, and, oh, yes, there will be blood. And that quote too. That's one of my favorite quotes from him. And, man, I can talk a lot of John Cramer about this. So, he's one of my most favorite villains of all time. My number 1 gold medal winner of my favorite Saw villains. So, it's got to be John Cramer. It has to be. So, you thought Aman Young's going to be number 1? No. I like my old man, John Cramer. So, there you go. He knows his stuff than the rest of these goddamn characters. You know what I mean? So, and he has a calm, soothing voice throughout the movie, too. So, there's a lot more I can say about John Cramer, so that's all I'm going to say about John Cramer, a.k.a. Jigsaw himself. So, man, so my number 1 gold medal winner is definitely John Cramer, also known as Jigsaw himself. So there you go, my best on friends and Lemon Pie Cuties. I finally got the last Saw content for you guys. So I ranked the villains worst to best, all 9 of them. Until the 10th movie comes out, yeah, I'll be all over that whenever it comes out soon. I don't know when. And I can work on other future projects now since I finally got this out of the way. So I can do Prison Miller's request for me to do a Q movie review if I get the time. So now I do have time now. So I finally got all the Saw content done, all 3. So, was it 4? Yeah, all 4 content. And all that stuff. And I will end this Saw villain ranking right here. So subscribe to me if you haven't. Make sure you click the bell to get all of my notifications. And also share this Saw villain ranking video. And also share it so I get more views and subscribers as well. Thank you for your support, guys. I made it up to 600 subscribers. And hopefully I'll make a 600 subscriber special video for you guys. If I can keep it into 600 subscribers. So, but thanks to you, my Basshound Army fans. So, and look for future content in my movie reviews. So, there you go. And I will see you later.